Adrenaline in my soul. Cody Rhodes won't win the gold. Vince will fuck it up for all of us. Whoa! Folks, I don't know how else to say it, but this WrestleMania, boy, was it a tale of two fucking nights. Night one was The Godfather, was Goodfellas, was The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. It was A New Hope. And then night two happened. And it was The Godfather Part 3. It was the entire Star Wars sequels from Force Awakens to The Rise of Skywalker. You had the most lucrative WrestleMania in years. I'm not trying to compare it to WrestleMania 17, nor am I trying to compare it to one of the worst WrestleManias. It was the most lucrative WrestleMania in terms of social media, financial, economical, everything. I think it was the most streamed event, and it had the most talked about event in history. And it all came crashing down when a Samoan spiked the American Nightmare. I don't even want to go into that just yet. Night one was fantastic. We started off with Austin Theory defending the United States Championship against John Cena, of course, the GOAT. And it was an okay match. It was a good little start. You know, obviously, as any opening match on a WrestleMania will go, it either hits or misses. This was kind of middle of the road. It was a way to just get John Cena on the card. Obviously, with Hollywood, he is a big star. Peacemaker, the Marine, and my personal favorite, Daddy's Home, with that cameo he had. And it was an okay match. It put Austin in a different, view of things. Everyone, can now say, well, Austin Theory defeated John Cena at WrestleMania. Got to talk about this guy. So it was a good little match. The Fatal 4-Way WrestleMania Men's Showcase Tag Team match was bonkers. Some great spots. I'm still replaying Dawkins just trucking Strowman to the ground. That was insane. Montez Ford is a bona fide star, no doubt about that. And it was a good little way to just throw some guys on a match, but they made it work and they made it make sense. They built it in a way that, all right, these four teams, I want to see these guys fight. These guys look like they all have great chemistry. I mean, the War Raiders, or Viking Raiders, got their crap in. Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Ricochet was probably one of the coolest shooting star presses I've ever seen. And the Street Profits came away with the win. It was a good little, again, a good little start to WrestleMania. Kept it going. And then we kept it going with a match that I actually thought wasn't going to be as good due to the parameters of Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Everyone thought it was going to be Logan Paul getting a dub in Hollywood since he is a big star. But boy, did he deliver. And I'll say this. Hangman, it's not the buckshot lariat anymore, my guy. Logan Paul has you beat. It's the Maverick lariat. Seth freaking Rollins, again, showing why he's definitely our generation Shawn Michaels, or our generation Seth Rollins. Always a Mr. WrestleMania type of performer. Had some great gear. I mean, he is the king of drip. He is the visionary. And they had a great match. And I thought throwing the Prime Energy mascot being KSI in was a nice little way to, A, promote Logan's energy drink, and B, also provide a little bit more nuance to the story itself. And Seth coming away with the win was surprising. I actually thought Logan was going to get a dub, but he didn't. So we'll see where that goes. And then we went with what I believe was kind of under-delivering, but we made it make sense. I believe it was the six-woman tag, the Trish Lita and Becky versus Damage Control. I actually thought Damage Control was going to come away with the win. But the wind got knocked out of the park after that match because Damage Control just getting buried on Mania was interesting. But hey, Trish Lita and Becky, they're the top stars, so I got to keep it going, I guess. So that was a match that kind of under-delivered. Everyone got their stuff in, but I was kind of not paying attention and didn't really care. Another match that I enjoyed, and I thought it was a really cool way to pay off a story that's been going on for legit months now, which was, of course, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. The Hall of Famer, recently inducted, coming out with Snoop Dogg in that lowrider was dope as hell. That was sick. So that happened. I thought it was a great match. Bad Bunny being at the Spanish announce table, grabbing the chain, doing his thing. Judgment Day coming out, but then the LWO coming out. Like, that was, again, great payoff to a great story of father versus son. And I thought the right winner came away, but they can go continue with the story no matter what. Now, a match that I want to really explore. The SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, a.k.a. Mommy, who I will be referring to now as the SmackDown Women's Champion, Mommy. Boy, did that match deliver. I went into this thinking, okay, we're going to have a Charlotte, she's going to do her thing. Rhea's going to come away with some cheap heel heat to win the title. Wow, was I wrong. That match reminded me of a strong-style Japan match, like a New Japan women's match, essentially. Hard-hitting, gutsy, just absolute horrendous. That spot where Rhea throws Charlotte into that suplex and Charlotte lands face first on the ground. Wow, I actually thought she's dead. She's literally dead. And then Charlotte doing her moonsault towards the end and then about to hit something on Rhea, and Rhea has her knock her head on the turnbuckle, and then Rhea hitting the Eradicator from an avalanche position and winning the title. Wow, did that match leave me impressed. Excited to see where this goes for Rhea. Excited to see where this goes for Charlotte. Excited to see what this does to the SmackDown Women's Division heading out of WrestleMania. Now a match that, again, another good way of paying off story. Again, referring back to how night one was a cinematic show, and then night two was nothing more than a filler episode. The Usos, the undisputed tag team champions in WWE, defending the titles against Kevin Owens and the Usos' former mate, Sami freaking Zayn. Wow. I'm a huge fan of story, and I have not been invested in a story like Sami Zayn and the Bloodline since possibly Daniel Bryan and the Authority when I was younger. Sami and Kevin finally putting their differences aside, teaming up for the first time in over 5 years, and taking the Usos to the limit. Near fall after near fall, subtlety after subtlety, the haluva kick with Jay falling to his knees, just like Kevin fell to Sami's knees at War Games. Poetic. The right winners came away with the gold, and the fans were ecstatic. I actually thought the crowd were going to be dead by the time the main event happened due to the Charlotte and Rhea show-stealing performance. But no, they stepped up, they kept it going, and Sami and Kevin and the Usos had close to 40 minutes of awesome action. Also, Lil Uzi Vert doing Just Wanna Rock right at the beginning before the Usos entrance. Classic. And then night two happens. We had the most lucrative WrestleMania in years. This is where all the marbles were going to come to place, where the stars were aligned, where all roads lead to glory. But the reins were not let go. Starting off with Brock Lesnar and Omos. The little match, wasn't entirely enthralled with it. Brock got to do his stuff. An F5, a couple suplexes. That's all you really need to do. Omos couldn't really care. If he got released today, I would be. So yeah, we'll see where it goes from that. And of course, Brock Lesnar then turning heel the next fucking night because Vince just can't let him go. And then we got into an interesting, another Fatal 4-Way, the women's tag team Fatal 4-Way showcase match. Didn't really care for it. Some good heel work by Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Rousey and Baszler doing their thing. Rousey and Baszler work the least, and they still got the W. I hated that. I did not like that. I've actually thought Ronda has not been relevant since 2019 when she lost the title to Becky. Could not really care anymore. So that match, I was like, see ya. And then, big beefy boys slapping beef. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. It was truly fight night. It was a fight night where the ring is sacred and a Claymore kick is all it takes. But it didn't. It didn't underdeliver. It over-delivered. It delivered in 30 minutes or less within the 10-minute span. Gunther, of course, great entrance. Sheamus, good entrance. Drew, loving the white ring attire. That was cool. Of course, the Claymore sword. Can't go wrong with that. Everyone thought, okay, it's Clash of the Castle Part 2, but throw Drew in there? No, they told a completely different story. The subtle moment of Drew pulling Sheamus out of the ring, saying, not today, brother. That was truly remarkable. I actually thought, wow, this is going to be interesting. Is Drew going to turn heel tonight? What's going to happen? But big beefy boy, slapping chest, Claymore kicks, Brogue kicks, Gunther kick, whatever he calls that. Everyone in that match shone and shined bright at that match. And so I was, Gunther winning was very interesting. I actually thought they were going to have Sheamus pin Drew or Drew pin Sheamus so that Gunther got out of that program. Still not the champ, but also not getting the pin. But, of course, they're going to stick with Gunther as IC champ. We'll see where that goes. Wouldn't be opposed to a rematch at Backlash. Bianca and Oscar, of course, the Raw Women's Championship match. An okay little thing. Everyone thought, wow, Oscar might, we're going to get dark Oscar. We're going to have everything come to place for finally an Oscar heel turn and championship run. But no, they kept the EST intact with the title. Good little match. Compared to the Charlotte and Rhea match, it paled in comparison. Charlotte and Rhea was a much better match than Bianca and Oscar, but Bianca and Oscar still did their thing. Interesting to see what this does for Oscar. Interesting to see what this does for Bianca. Hopefully, they can rejuvenate some stuff and get Bianca still as champion, because if they go for another year-long run with Bianca, we might be facing Roman Reigns level kind of thing where you just want to finally get the belt off her because you want to see something else. Then we had Edge versus Finn Balor. Wow. That match in a Hell in a Cell, everyone thought, wow, this is going to be the Judgment Day is going to get involved. Apparently Gangrel and Christian were allowed to come. Nope. It was a traditional little Hell in a Cell match, but it made sense because Edge and Finn Balor hate each other. They brought the pain. The demon came out. Brood Edge came out, and then the match gets fucked up because Finn decided to get his forehead cut, or his top of his head cut, and they had to kill the match time. Not one of my favorite Hell in a Cell matches, and not my favorite Edge match. And I enjoy myself some Edge. I enjoy myself from Finn Balor. But not a match that I will go back and watch. I don't want to talk about the main event, but we have to. I mean, this is Shake and Jake's WrestleMania review. Who gives a shit? Why did this happen? Cody Rhodes is on a generational run, much like Roman Reigns was this past couple of years. He wins the Royal Rumble. He's beating everyone. He swept Seth Rollins in 3 straight pay-per-views. Tore his pec, comes back at the Rumble, has a great final 2 sequence with Gunther, and he doesn't touch Roman until Mania. Everyone thought, wow, this is a legitimate fight. What's going to happen? Is Cody going to win it? Is Roman going to win it? Everyone was making jokes. I even fell for the jokes of if Roman wins, there's literally no one else he can beat. But everyone deep down thought Cody's going to win it. Boy, were we wrong. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are the most hated men in the business right now. The Usos got involved a little bit, but Kevin and Sami took care of things. But no, Solo Sikoa had to spike all of our dreams away to keep that fucking belt on Roman Reigns. The match was great. Everything was perfect. Roman trying to choke out Cody. Cody fighting through. Cody hitting a bunch of crossroads. Roman Reigns almost powerbombing Cody onto the announce table, but then Cody flipping it on him and Roman falling to the ground. This match had everything. Paul Heyman, of course, being the great actor he is, the facial expressions you see throughout the match, only for him to smile like the little chameleon he is when Roman got the 3 on Cody Rhodes. Not the best ending to a Mania in a long time. Just like Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33, the crowd was dead and the crowd were shocked. And we're even leaving the arena when Roman got the belts back. So, all in all, night 1 was the peak cinema moment of WrestleMania and the peak cinema moment for WWE. Night 2 was nothing more than the cheap reboot/remake to just make some cash. Overall, WrestleMania Night 1, 8 out of 10. 8.5. That 0.5 going to the lowrider sequence with Snoop Dogg and Rey Mysterio. Night 2, 5. All 5 of those ratings for Night 2 can go directly to Gunther, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, the audience, and Stu the cameraman. That was that. For all of those fans in wrestling and WWE, I have this to say. With Vince in charge, a new owner of the WWE with Endeavor, and Triple H supposedly not head of creative anymore, we are seeing, truly, the demise of wrestling. If only a certain elite company can bring back the flavor of good pro wrestling. For all of those here at Shake and Jake Enterprises, this is Shake and Jake saying, if I don't see you around here, I'll see you around here.